the Red Sox every night. I can see if it was Wilson Contreras, if it was, I don't know, who else is supposed to be a consistent star for this team? Nobody. But now you got Mickey Gasper.
Yeah, it certainly has been.
This was not the plan. Mickey Gasper was inserted
not.
as the DH, and he was hitting ninth last week.
Right, and he's 30.
Yeah, of course. He's 30.
Okay.
He's a true free agent pickup. And, hey, good for their scouting.
Right.
They wanted to load up the Worcester Red Sox.
Yeah.
And, they did. And the carryover has been fortunate.
Right. And this is the fine line I try to walk here. This is undoubtedly exciting. You can't help but feel great for the players, the mix of the world there, Mickey Gasper. But you can't give any credit to the front office. You just got to make sure you hold that line when it comes to this stuff. Sometimes things work, and that's great. But nobody drew it up this way. And if they did, they would have been fired on the spot.
That's right.
But the fact that it's working makes it all the more entertaining.
And, hey, it's cheap. I know they like
right.
that.
That's my real beef with all this. As I've said,
half the team doesn't make $1 million.
Right, as I've said many times before, like basically what John Henry hears is people, they'll cheer this $50 million team as well. Very interesting. Maybe we need a salary cap. And I hate to be that guy, but unfortunately, that's the world we live in, and that puts the touch of gray on or the clouds over what otherwise is just a completely joyous run that this team has been on, from 14 under to 14 over with the Monasterios and Micks of the world. I mean, come on now.
Come on. Let's go to your calls. Pete in the truck is on the line. How are you, Pete?
Good, Kmac. Thanks for taking a call.
Sure.
So you did take the words out of my mouth as far as Story and Anthony are concerned. If it's not broken, let's continue to ride the wave and not insert those guys into the lineup at all until, like you said, something drastically happens with someone or something in the lineup as it is right now. But this is to what you guys are saying, it's unprecedented. It is 14 under to 14 over, et cetera. And as bad as things can go or can get in a hurry, I'm just riding the wave like everybody else.
Yeah, Pete, tell me if you do this, Pete. And I know he had the grand slam last night, but Jarren Duran is still hitting. I think he's hitting 208. I'm willing, if Roman Anthony is ready, I'm willing to replace Jarren Duran at least 3 days a week. We'll see how Roman can work up to speed. I'm not ready to go anywhere with Trevor Story. Do you think there's a difference between Anthony and Story?
I do. I think I'm with you on this. I would, if out of the two of those guys, I would support an Anthony entry into the lineup before I would do anything with Trevor Story.
Mm-hmm.
But in typical fashion, though, and as the old adage says, we're paying by X amount of dollars, so we need to get some kind of ROI, meaning Story.
Yeah.
And he needs to prove himself, I guess, again. But I don't trust him as far as I can throw or he can throw.
I'm with you, Pete, and thank you for the call. Rooch, there's no way they can take Siegler and Monasterio out of this mix right now, only because the MICK is untouchable at designated hitter.
I mean, he takes a duck boat to and from work, I think.
Well, it's funny. My brother lives down in South Carolina. He's watching the game last night. We're going back and forth on text. And I guess they pinch run for the MICK in like the ninth inning or whatever it was. And he's like, how can you take that guy out of the lineup? I said, well, I said, Jim, you running backwards is probably faster than the MICK. And, this is late inning situation, so they put that speed guy in there instead. But Roman Anthony, I can see Roman Anthony finding some at-bats almost as soon as he's ready to go.
I can see Roman Anthony finding some at-bats, and I can see both Trevor Story and the organization, if they can make it work from a numbers standpoint, being satisfied with him just being on the roster.
Sure.
Because, we've heard him talk during his rehab stint. he seems just as enamored with the young guys and the run that the team's making. Now, maybe he's just being an exemplary teammate and an exemplary rehab guy and the things that he's saying, but it gives the impression to me of a guy who's like, I'm just going to hit 220 anyway. Like, let's go. And I'll stand at the top of the dugout steps and whoop, whoop. I'll have the helmet ready to go. The, what is it? The green monster there, Wally the green monster. Yeah, I'll be in charge of that. Make sure it doesn't stink too badly. But yeah, like someone like Jarren Duran, you're right. You talk about the guys Monasterio, Siegler, the Mick, the immortal Mickey Gasper, and it's like, well, you can add, but you're also subtracting. To your point about Duran.
I mean, he's hitting 209.
Yeah, you're not subtracting much there. That grand slam was nice. A single would have got the job done, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, earlier in the game, I think there were guys in second and third, certainly scoring situation. He had a horrendous at-bat strikeout, and he has two of those a night.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's really sort of a no-brainer, if anything. But throw the Mick out there. He can cover for
he can't cover anything.
No, are you kidding me? He's quickly establishing himself as a jack of all the trades.
The only thing that's definite, and I get it, they don't have to do it now. They don't have to do it next week. They don't have to do it until after the season. Chad Tracy's going to be the manager going forward. I mean, that would be – there's no way they can bypass this guy going. And I'm not saying that he's a great manager and they should give him a long-term deal, but Chad Tracy should be managing this team next season.
Well,
correct?
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. I mean, I'm on record already as having said that Alex Cora would probably have the same record, managing this team. The roster, just the way it is, like what? He would have stopped that 30-game winning streak?
Well, I will say this, because Tracy had so much experience with Mickey Gasper and Siegler and whatnot, maybe a little more trust, a little more faith in them?
No. The bottom, first of all, Siegler and what's the other one? Monasterio played for Milwaukee.
True.
He didn't have any familiarity with them, so there's like 2/3 of that.
But
gone.
they were in Worcester a little bit this year.
Sure, but Chad Tracy's going to get an extension because he's inexperienced, and they can sign him up long term at the bottom of the market.
I don't know what. I can take a guess. I would say that Alex was making about $7 million.
Yes.
This guy, he'll be thrilled to make what? Well, $500,000. They'll give him $2 million, and he'll have a parade. He'll be so excited.
That's right. It'll be 3 years, maybe $7 million. That'll be the deal that he gets. You have to sort of give him something because it's Boston. At least that used to be the case. I don't know. The way the payroll's been plummeting, maybe you can get away with just saying, hey, how about $750 a year, and we call it a day.
All right, Rooch, before we take a break, you're going to love this. So the Red Sox have their lineup out for tonight's game. There's no Adley Rutschman. They're a little concerned about his wrist, which isn't good. Wilson Contreras is getting the night off. This is the lineup, okay? Sogard, of course, he's leading off.
The Mick and the Nick.
Fourth, cleanup. Caleb Durbin is hitting cleanup. Mick is fifth. Monasterio sixth. Siegler is eighth, and Connor Wong is ninth. I mean, are you kidding me?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I got an admission.
So, of course, they'll score 10 runs and win 10-2.
At least 10 runs. A confession, actually, rather. When Sogard hit a home run, what was it, last week? And it was making the rounds. First career home run. And I was like, what? I was like, this guy, he's been around. I was like, how is it this guy only has one career home run? And then I realized that it was not the Sogard that I was thinking of. I had been thinking of his brother.
That's right.
Eric.
There's two. Yep.
Yeah, and this was Nick Sogard. So, again, in terms of the production.
Believe me, Nick doesn't have many either.
No, that's what I mean. It's like between the two of them. I don't know if they have all that many. But, yeah, they're getting production from pretty much everywhere, which is, again, well, I don't know. Alex Cora could have put that guy in there. He could have hit his first career home run.
Hey, I'll be watching tonight. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll be watching tonight. That's Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer weighing in on the Christian Gonzalez situation, contract. I don't know, I guess it's a stalemate. He's under contract for 2 more years, by the way. Certainly under contract this year. The Patriots can extend him, have the right to extend in 27 for like $18 million. You're not waiting for $18 million. He wants 30+ next year. And guaranteed money up front. He wants all the good stuff. And he's high-end player, and players like him traditionally can command that much. Whether the Patriots will come to agreement before they open the season out in Seattle, we'll see about that. Tomorrow night, I do not expect, certainly Christian Gonzalez, I don't expect anybody to play, right? Ruch, if they didn't play in the first two games, why would they play a little bit tomorrow night? Or maybe Mike Vrabel will surprise us.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would be, interesting either way. There'd be something to discuss, whether it's the fact that the starters didn't get any reps at all or the fact that Mike Vrabel decided to roll the dice and put the starters. Again, this sort of shows you the Sophie's choice that Mike Vrabel is in. I already have armed at my disposal the two arguments I can make on after the game, depending on what he does. But, yeah, all signs to this point have sort of signaled that he's not going to play the starters. But
you know what's funny, Rooch, is last year, he's in his first year. Drake May is, we don't really know what Drake May is, right? After his rookie year, he played the starters. He needed to answer some questions. Is he that much more confident in the team this year? And are they that thin that he doesn't want to risk injury? Is it that those two things that bad?
Well, that could be another element of it too, right? Where he was just answering questions, sort of put his foot in his mouth, at least according to his own analysis of the situation. Mike Vrabel put his foot in his mouth by, talking about how the team didn't have a lot of depth, but that's not really what he meant. He just meant, the nature of the preseason and rookies and getting them up to speed. So maybe that factors in, and he's like, yeah, look, I got to throw some of these guys out there or else the narrative's really going to get going about how, why isn't Vrabel play? They must really not have any depth and things of that nature, and he knows that doesn't reflect very well on the front office or ownership, who still remains well under the salary cap. So, yeah, there are a couple factors at play. Hopefully Mike Vrabel just does what he feels is best to get his team prepared and doesn't listen to any of this garbage, but you never know.
All right, and as far as tomorrow night, we will not be here because we carry the Patriots preseason and regular season. Pregame at 5. They're going to begin at 8. We'll be back on Friday and dissect the Patriots a little bit. But thinking about the game, all the talk between now and the start of the season will be about Christian Gonzalez if he remains unsigned. Now, I think he'll play in that first game against Seattle if he's physically ready to go. I don't think he's going to hold out or anything like that. As far as extending himself, pushing himself through injury, no, I wouldn't do that either.
No.
And by the way, he's not alone. There's no established player in the NFL who's going to push himself through injury, especially early in a season.
No, I think Burt nailed it with what he said, where, we sort of just got a taste of it with the injury during training camp. Where, all of the peripheral analysis and thoughts were like, he's probably ready, but he's being extra cautious. That's how you can expect him. That's how I'd expect him to act during the season if he remains unextended as we head into it.
All right, Mike Vrabel, obviously a former player, and all players want to make money. All players want their teammates to make money. Ruch, I would assume that we can agree that the Crafts, they care about what they look like on the NFL stage, right? I mean, he wants to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
He certainly,
yes,
that stuff matters.
Absolutely, very much, very vanity based in that regard.
So it's the opening game of the entire NFL season. It's actually 2 weeks from tonight, Wednesday night. Yeah, 2 weeks from tonight. And Devin Witherspoon in Seattle, they're all pumped up. They gave him, $150 million and $33 million a year, whatever it is. Good for him. Are the Patriots going to show up to that game and Christian Gonzalez will be a, quote, distraction either I do think he'll be playing as long as he's healthy. And he won't be getting paid? I mean, that won't be a good look.
Well, you're saying that Robert Kraft might not want to look cheap on national television and things of that nature?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, I would think that would be a great motivator as well. But when you're as prolific in life as someone like Robert Kraft has been, he can just lean on some other pillar of excellence, right? It's like, you could call me cheap, but actually I'm leaning on the top minds that I brought in to make these decisions for me. So
and my track record is my track record.
Exactly. So unfortunately, I don't think he can be shamed into this. He'd smile his way through and, rightfully claim, again, not much of a meaningful claim, but keep on trotting out the fact that we'd make him the highest paid corner and the highest paid Patriot of all time, which, again, is really, really insulting lip service if they don't ultimately get a deal done here.
I get it. I will say this. 24 years old, top of his game. If he's playing, he's going to try to make as many plays as he can. Now, will he ever be a prodigious run stopper? No, he's better defending plays in the passing game and down the field and whatnot. But I think TC might be jumping the gun a little bit there.
Yeah, not to mention that's just, again, everybody's got to read Sun Tzu's The Art of War, right? Like, the second your opponent is thinking that way, as opposed to thinking to their strengths, right? It's like, I mean, is that what that team wants to do? If they want to do that, then yeah, that's just sort of a bonus. But I don't think anybody's going to go out of their way, to your point, to target Christian Gonzalez in the run game, so that hope he gets hurt. And then what? What's the end game for that team? Like, him getting hurt is good for the opponent. I understand that, but that could be said for a lot of players on the other side of the ball. It's just, you're right. He's sort of jumping the gun there.
Zach Charbonnet, right?
That's right.
We'll see what he can do.
That's what he
What
wants
happened to
do.
Kenneth Walker? He went somewhere else?
Oh, yeah, he's in Kansas City, I believe.
Good pickup. I
yeah,
like him.
well,
Tough runner.
Yeah.